Okay, so now we have to learn how to sketch cubic graphs, cubic sketches. And we saw in the past, in the syllabus outline, there were two forms. You had y is equals to ax cube plus b, and you had y is equals to ax cube plus bx squared plus cx. And both of them are cubic because we can see that the maximum power, I told you, what tells you if something is cubic? The power, the maximum power of the equation. You can see the x is 3, cubic is 3. So first of all, like all of the equations that we did previously, we first of all learned the most basic one. The most basic one of a cubic graph is y is equals to x cube. Y is equals to x cube. The graph goes on like this. I will show it to you. A simple one. It's unlike linear and not even like the quadratic. It is a sketch. Oh, sorry, it is a curve and passing through the origin, because you can see if your x would be 0, your y would also come out as 0 cube, which is 0. So the x-intercept and the y-intercept is the origin. And the graph would come like this. It would start from the third quadrant and it would go towards the first quadrant, like this. And it would keep on going up and down over here. And one more thing to understand, these are quadrants. I call them quadrants. This is the first quadrant, where your x coordinates and the y coordinates are both positive. This is your second quadrant. This is the third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. So you can see that the graph for y is equals to x cube is starting from the third quadrant, passing through the origin, because when y is 0, look, x is 0, and then it is going upwards towards the first quadrant. This is your most basic one. Then if let's suppose it is your y is equals to minus x cube, and it is a minus x cube. So what happens now? The graph is very much similar.
So let's go then.
Yes, it would reflect in the x-axis. The graph will now begin from the second quadrant, like this, and we'll go towards the fourth quadrant. And I will tell you what thing tells you that it will start from which quadrant and go towards which quadrant. You can see over here A. And over here you can see the value of A is positive. A is 1 over here in this case. A is 1, which is greater than 0. And over here your A is minus 1. Look, ax cube minus 1x cube, which is negative. And this value of A can tell you a very important detail about the movement of this graph. So if your A is positive, in this case, look, if your A is positive, then your graph goes from the third to the first quadrant. Your graph would always move like this. It will start from the third quadrant and move and rotate and turning points if there are any, and then it would always end in the first quadrant. Start and end. And if your A is negative, your graph would start from the second and it would go and end towards the fourth quadrant. Now, what about if you have y is equals, if we add something, look in this form, y is equals to ax cube plus b. If we have something adding to it, y is equals to, let's suppose it is 2x cube plus 3, let's suppose. So this will be what? Again, if you find the y-intercept will be what? If your y is, your x-intercept, when your y is 0. So when your y is 0, this would become 0
3
is equals
upon 2 cube.
plus 3, and 3 would go over there, become minus 3, 2x cube, yes. Minus 3 upon 2 is equals to x cube. And you have got x as cube root of negative 3 upon 2. How much is this? कितना है ये? Cube root of negative 3 upon 2. negative 1.14 something. Okay, negative 1.144. So the point through at which this it is crossing the x-intercept, x-axis, it is negative 1.144 comma 0. And now you find your if your if your x is 0. If your x is 0, then your y comes out as 2 times 0 cube plus 3, which will be equal to 3. So 0 comma 3. And this one, 2x cube plus 3 is similar to the x cube one. Okay, there is nothing, there is no ax cube or bx square plus cx. It is related to the most basic one, y is equals to x cube. So now if you want to sketch this, so let's suppose this is, I'm just assuming, okay, negative 1.44, because this is the sketch. Okay, it is not needed that it is exactly accurate or scaled. It should be approximately true. And let's suppose this is the y intercept 3. So it is passing through these 2 points. So the curve will now start like this, pass through this, and turn over here like this, and then will go up like this. So look, again, it is starting from the third quadrant and going to the first quadrant. Why? Because your A is positive. Your A is 2. Your A is 2 positive. So that's why it is going from the third to the second quadrant. And look at the shape. The shape is similar to the y is equals to x cube. Okay, this is a good example. Let's do another one. Another example. Let's suppose we have y is equal to negative x cube minus 4. Okay, anything. So again, we would need if x is 0. You're trying to find the y-intercept. Your x is 0 at the y-intercept. So y is equal to minus 0 cube minus 4. So y is minus 4. So it is crossing the y-axis at 0 comma minus 4. And now if your y is 0, your y is 0, 0 is equal to minus x cube minus 4. Minus 4 would go over there. Or you can move the x cube over there. So x cube is equal to 4 minus 4. And x would be cube root of minus 4. How much is this?
Minus 1.58.
1.587. Yes, approximately. Minus 1.587. So now again you will move on to the sketch part. Erase this. And plot the point. It is 0 comma minus 4. So minus 4 is over here. Let's suppose this is minus 4, 0 comma minus 4. Y-intercept. And the x-intercept is negative 1.5. Let's suppose this is negative 1.587. Approximately, okay? It's the shape is more important, and the labeling of the x and the y-intercept. It should not be exactly, you can say, like plotting. The scaling should be what do you say, appropriate, reasonable, but not exactly accurate, 100%. 19-20 चलता है यहाँ पे. And now the shape, you can see the A is less than 0, which is negative. So this means that now it would move from the second to the fourth. So the graph would start now from here and turn over here. So like this. It's a sketch, okay? It's okay if it is not as accurate. But how this is how it will. I will show it to you on Desmos as well. Look. Negative x cube minus 4. So look, the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and the shape. Exactly the same as we have found. Okay. All good. Any question?
Yes.
Okay. So now you know about sketching these. So whatever your A is, whatever your plus B is, look, the B part is the y-intercept. You can directly say that as well. What look over here, your B was 3. Ax cube plus B. B is 3. So it is crossing the y-axis at B. So B also you can say that it is the y-intercept. Your B is -4 and it is crossing the y-axis at -4. So you can say that B is the y-intercept directly. If you have the equation y is equals to ax cube plus B. So your B is the y-intercept. Okay, now you move on to the second part of cubic equation. When your equation is in this form, y is equals to ax cube plus bx plus bx square plus cx, and there is no d. You won't have a d, only till cx. So for example, you have
सर तो डी इसमें आएगा
d
शेप में था
आता
वो
है.
डी
This is the quadratic form that is more relevant to us, that we should understand how to plot.
ओके
The
सर
quadratic, the real quadratic, sorry, cubic, the real cubic has the d part as well. But for us, the d is 0. Because look, they have given you in the syllabus outline ax cube plus bx square plus cx. And there is d. There is no d, this, which means that d is 0. So the equation will always be in this format. So again, we are concerned with what? The x-intercept, the y-intercept, and the shape and turning point as well. For IGCSE people, over here you will have turning point, and IGCSE, in IGCSE you have differentiation chapter. So this thing can come in connection with the differentiation chapter. Using the differentiation thing, you can find the turning point, and then you will have to label that as well. Now in this one, how will your shape will be? How will your shape be? Okay, the general shape. Let's take a very simple example. Y is equals to x cube plus 5x square plus 6x minus 6. Example number 1. The most easiest thing we'll see that is finding the y-intercept. Y-intercept is when your x is 0. And when you suppose your x is 0, 0 cube plus 5, 0 square minus 6 times 0, everything is 0. So this means that origin is one of the points that it is passing through. So the y-intercept is 0. Now you find the x-intercept. How will you find the x-intercept? When your y is 0. When your y is 0, the equation becomes x cube plus 5x square minus 6x. And how will you solve this? You have a function in your calculator as well, but you would also need to learn how to do it manually. You can confirm the answer using the calculator. You will have to factorize it. Just like in quadratic, you factorize it into Milton breaking, using Milton breaking and find the factors and the
X
x-intercept. Over here as well, you will factor. And how? First of all, you can see x is common between all three. So this would become x square plus 5x minus 6. And then x square plus 5x minus 6. This can be further factorized into x plus 6 and x minus 1. So look, you have now 3 factors. And now you would equate each of them with 0. So x is equal to 0, x plus 6 is equal to 0, x minus 1 is equal to 0. So x is 0, x is equal to minus 6, x is equal to plus 1. So now you have the 3 x-intercepts. So again, you go on to the plotting part. So the 3 x-intercepts are, one of them is 0, 0, which is already I have. Then you have minus 6, let's suppose this is minus 6 x-intercept and 1. 1 is very close, definitely. Relatively, look, I have made it closer to 0. minus 6 to the is more to the left and 1 is closer to origin. So it should be understandable, reasonable plotting. Okay, it's not just that I have 6 is over there and I'm making 1 over here. The distance from 0 to 6 is so small and the distance from 0 to 1 is so large. This is absurd, right? This would be wrong. Make a reasonable plotting. You don't need the exact scaling, but reasonable plot that we can understand. Yes, 0 to 6 is further. 0 and 1 are is the shorter distance. And then you have also, okay, yes, you have done everything, plotted everything. Now the A is what? A is positive, right? A is your 1. So this means that will start from the third, will go to the first. So you will now start with the third. Look how this will go. Interesting. Start in the third and then turn. Turn and it will pass through the second x-intercept. It will pass through the second x-intercept. Then again turn. Turn and then pass through the third x-intercept. And then it will go up like this. It's the curve like this. So this is the shape. I will show you on Desmos as well. You will see.
सर हर क्यूबिक इक्वेशन की शेप यही होगी.
Yes, cubic, when you have it is in this form, when you have to factorize it and then you find the x-intercept like this, and you have 3 x-intercept.
और सर पिछली वाली में इसलिए नहीं थी क्योंकि वो इस फॉर्म में नहीं थी.
Yes, look, shape is the same.
Sir, I'm
The
plus 6 as well.
minus 3. Sorry, minus 3. Wait, I have a
Sir,
factor.
I'm plus 6 कर दिया है.
Minus. क्या लिखा है मैंने? x cube plus 5x square minus 6x. Okay, look, the shape is again similar. Minus 6, 0, 0, and 1, 0. So we found the 3 intercepts and the turning point. These are the turning points. I will show you. This point is the turning point and this point is the turning point. The IGCSE people, they may be asked to find these turning points as well using differentiation. But all people, they are not concerned. The shape is enough for them. These are the turning points.
सर पिछले वाले ग्राफ में टर्निंग पॉइंट क्या होगा?
वो तो था ना इसमें,
इससे पिछले वाले में सर जो आपने बताया इसमें. जी सर.
This one.
Yes sir.
You can see that there is no turning point. This is a turning point actually. Lekin this is a special type of turning point. This is something above, very much above your level. The turning point you will say where your graph is changing. If it is going up, now it is going down. So this is the turning point. If it is going down, then it is going up. This is the turning point.
Okay.
Okay, right now this is more than enough information for today's class. This is how you sketch the cubic graph. So you found the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and then the shape. Shape you found where it will start and where it will end according to the a value. Any questions, anyone?
सर ये इक्वेशंस की फॉर्म हमें याद करनी पड़ेगी.
एक और बंदा चलेगा. Yes, you will do some practice questions on this, work on this, and then we'll get better definitely. Not so difficult. Everything, if you do enough practice, you don't need to rectify it, you don't need to memorize it. Just be पढ़ के. If you do enough practice, then definitely you will recall everything if that comes in your exam as well. Okay, let's do another one. Minus 2h plus 4h. Okay, look at this one. You will see that your y-intercept will be directly If your x is 0, your y will also be 0 because 0 cube, 0 square, minus 0, everything 0. 0, 0. Then you need your x-intercept. When your y is 0, you will have to factorize this. You can take minus x common. If you take minus x common, you will get 2x square plus 4x. Well, wait a minute, I'll have to change the equation. This is not a... We will be stuck on solving the... It will cause us problem. Let me find a better equation. Minus x cube minus 1 minus 4. Let me confirm it. Okay. So now you have taken minus x common, you will get x square plus 4x and minus 12 because you took the minus x common. And now if you factorize the quadratic factor, you will get further, you will
6
get
and 2.
x minus 6 and x plus 2 as the factors. And then your x-intercept, you will get one of them as 0, the other would be 6, and the third one would be minus 2. And now you start off with you have everything. So it is passing through the origin 0, 0 already plotted. The other x-intercept is 6. Let's suppose this is 6, and then minus 2. Suppose this is minus 2. So it is passing through these x-intercepts. And then your a is what? A is negative, which is minus 1. This means now it will pass from the second to the fourth. So the graph would now start from the second, like this, cross the x-intercept, then turn, pass through the second x-intercept, then again, then turn, pass through the third x-intercept, and then goes down. This would be the shape. It will always pass through the x-intercept that we have found, and it will always start from the second and the fourth if your a is negative, and the third and the first if your a is positive. I'll show it to you over here as well. This is minus x cube and then minus 4x square plus 12x. So you look minus 6, 0, and 2, and the shape will look similar. Look, my regions are opposite. My left part is smaller than the right part. Wait a minute. The equation. I am saying you have given me the wrong answers. It would be the x-intercept. This is plus and this is minus. And so this is negative 6 and this is plus 2. So this one would be negative 6. And this is plus 2. Negative 6, and then let's suppose it's plus 4. The graph will now start from here, turn, and go down. Okay, silly mistake, but you understand. The x-intercept minus 6, 0, and minus 2, not minus 2. Okay, one more, I'm doing the cubic one for you, and then I will give you people some questions to try to sketch them. You have y is equals to negative x cube, negative x square, and plus 2x. So your x-intercept, y-intercept, y-intercept, your
Zero.
x, y-intercept again 0. X-intercept, your y is 0. So 0 is equals to minus x cube minus x square plus 2x. You can take minus x common. You will get x square plus x and minus 2. And then you will factorize the middle part, the quadratic part. So you will get x, this will be x plus 1 and x minus 2. You will do the middle term breaking. You people know how to do the middle term breaking, right? If you're struggling on that, you can use the calculator as well. I will, yes, I have to teach you how to get the, but no, do it manually. After a few classes, I will teach you the shortcut. So your x minus x equals 0, so x is equals to 0. So x is equals to minus 1 and x is equals to plus 2. So you have everything now. Okay. So you have 0, 0, you have 2, 0, x intercept is 2, and you have minus 1, 0. And you have a which is negative. So this means now it will go from the second to the first. Sorry, third to the first. Or second to the fourth. Yaad rakho, yaad. If your A is negative, then it would go from the second to the fourth. So the graph will start from the second, and pass to the second intercept. Sorry. Like this. This would be a graph. You will make a dotted line. Oh, sorry. You will make a solid line, not a dotted one. Right now, the screen is very smooth, so I can't properly make the curved smooth one. So this is your last graph that I have sketched for you.